Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview of Ringyō, specifically the solo mode in this upcoming competitive and solo Euro game. And as always, I take no money from publishers. I just want to show the game in this prototype form so you can make an informed decision. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Ringyō is set in 1600s Japan, and you are a daimyo, a lord of a province, and you're trying to harvest trees, harvest wood, to develop your own land as effectively as you can, and also to fulfill demands from the shogun. And whichever player is able to do that most effectively over the course of 5 rounds wins. And in the sequence of a round, first you have the Edo Council phase, where you'll pick a card and bid over bonus cards. Then you have the Province phase, where you use workers to perform different actions. The Weather phase, where your land might get flooded, things might get destroyed if you didn't take care of your land well enough, so you can overcut your land here. And finally, the Shogun's Demands phase, where you can try to race the other players to fulfill these different side objectives. Although in solo play, that last one does not exist because the demands are handled in a different way, and you can do them at any time. But each player starts out with their own province, which has a little card showing where to set everything up. To talk through some things here, each of the spaces corresponds to one of the 4 tree types. We've got dark green, which is pine, light kind of cyan, bluish green, which is cypress, orange, which is oak, and yellow, which is beech. And you'll see many spots have little tree tokens on them. These stack up to heights of 5, and I'm trying to get the camera at sort of an angle so you can see the height a bit here. Definitely harder to play from directly overhead. Locations can also have flood tokens, which means they're in danger of overflooding and then going down towards this bottom river space, destroying trees and or structures in your way. And speaking of structures, you can flip those flood tokens into rice paddies to earn yourself some food and protect from the flooding. You can also eventually build farms on those paddies or build these fortresses that'll get you military tokens that have additional uses. And you start out with 2 yellow samurai workers. They have 2 little dashes here for the number 2, because what you do is you put your workers on the intersections between 3 spaces. And then the number of slashes corresponds to the number of those spaces they can perform an action in. So here, if I put the samurai here, I could do something here, like planting a tree. I could do something here, like flipping this flood. Or I could do something here with these beech trees, maybe grow them higher or cut them down. But I would get to interact with 2 of the 3 spaces that I'm adjacent to. And then to focus on a few other things, then we'll jump in. Each player has a forestry track, which allows them, when they send their samurais out, to perform research on the trees. It's going to get you different bonuses. You can go in different directions, like from here you can go straight to the top or go left or right. And the higher you advance on this track, the more the trees on your board at the end of the game will be worth. So it kind of rewards you for taking a more ecological path in the game. You've also got a structure board. You're able to build only the bottom row of structures first, but as you build structures, you can then creep up into spaces that are adjacent to them, and they're each worth the number of victory points shown. And building these structures is what allows you to place out those rice farms and strongholds I mentioned. Additionally, at the top is your rice supply. You start out with 5, and you can use rice to perform a bunch of bonus actions, and you can gain more of it with those rice paddies and farms I already mentioned. There's also the Edo board over here. It keeps the cards all organized. It's going to be where you put out some Shogun rewards at the start of each round. In a competitive game, the Shogun's Demands will be placed over here. You reveal 2 each round, but that's not used in solo at all. And then over here, you've got the weather indicators. This big card is going to show which of the tree types and which terrain types are more and less likely to receive flooding. And these 3 random cards out of 10 will actually determine what's going to flood. And you can potentially peek at these through certain effects before the end of the round hits you. And then last thing, in solo, you have the Shogun's Demands over here. And you've got 1 samurai here. You've got this deck of solo goals that are face up. You can see the active one and the next one on deck. And at any time, you can spend the indicated resources to fulfill one of the Shogun's demands, moving the samurai onto it, and placing one of your tokens above it to show it's been completed. You're going to earn that many victory points. But in solo, it's more than just earning the victory points, because each completed demand is going to make the target score you're trying to beat 10 points lower. So completing these is really the main thing you have to do here. But the reason they're in this configuration is once I've completed this one, I'll flip up the ones that are adjacent to it, and I can then only complete ones that are adjacent to where I currently am, or I can complete the current active solo goal to move back to the middle. That'll earn me 4 victory points, and then I can go back to any of the goals and potentially complete that. So there's a little bit of tactical movement and decision making here, and you only use a subset of the demands tiles each time, so the game will change up. So here I need some forestry knowledge, which I'm going to get mainly from that forestry track. I need some military tokens, which will require me to build those fortress buildings. I need to send a bunch of trees to Edo instead of using them to build my own stuff up, and I need to pay a bunch of rice. So I kind of want a bit of everything here. We'll see how that goes. Well, let's jump right into round one. I'll show you how the game plays. Again, it is quite quick, and in competitive, it's pretty much all simultaneous, which makes it even faster. So first, I'm going to flip up 3 of these Shogun's Gifts cards. In competitive play, a number of these are flipped up each round equal to the number of players, but here it's always 3. And many of them will show card or token types. When that happens, you immediately put out the thing to find out exactly what its bonus is, so you're not bidding blind. And to quickly explain the bonuses here, so these are Shogun's favor cards. Usually they have bonus scoring opportunities that players will gain by picking these up. But in the solo mode, instead, you keep them face down, and they can be used at any time to discard the active solo goal card, that one that lets you move the samurai back to the center in that demands area. So they're both kind of less interesting, but also pretty useful at the same time. The green card here are forestry cards. You can either discard it for 2 rice, that's a symbol at the bottom, or you can use it for some kind of bonus action on your turn, that's the thing at the top. In this case, it lets me choose an area type and harvest all rice paddies and or farms of that area type, which is really a mid to late game card, so not sure that's too interesting to me here. And then finally on the left, I've got 2 bonus land tiles. And these would actually go into my area. I have to put them in one of these 8 spots. And they would give me, in this case, an extra rice paddy or more trees to potentially grow. Now, in the game, competitive and solo, you have 6 diplomat cards numbered 1 through 6. The lower numbered cards will give you less priority for picking these gifts, but they'll give you bonuses in other ways. So like the one here would let me draw 3 of those bonus land tiles and pick one. This guy would get me an extra artisan worker for the turn. This guy would get me extra rice. This one gets me a villager worker. The 5 gets me nothing, and the 6 actually costs me 2 rice. But in competitive, we would each pick one of these secretly, and that would determine who would get first choice of these, but also potentially more importantly, who would get first chance to lock in one of these Shogun's demands. Because you'll see at the top, based on player count, there are a limited number of spaces you can take. In 2-player, only the first person can get, in this case, 14 victory points, and the other players would be out of luck. In 3-player, you can also get the rightmost spot, and in 4-player, there are 3 spots to potentially grab. But how it works in solo is different. If you pick your 1 or your 2, you have to take the rightmost card. If you pick your 3 or your 4, you have the option of the right or middle card. And if you pick your 5 or your 6, you have the option of any of the 3 cards. Additionally, just to complicate things a little bit more, at the end of the game after 5 rounds, you'll have 1 card left over. And for whichever card you have left over, its value is doubled and added to the target score you need to reach to win the game. So they kind of want you to use your 6, 5, 4, 3, or 2, maybe not your 1, although again, the bonuses there can be really good. But yeah, for this time, I do think these bonus land tiles are potentially the most helpful early game. So I'm going to get rid of my 5. I don't want to pay 2 rice yet. That'll let me take any of these 3 bonuses. So I'll grab that one, and these other ones get discarded. All right, so I get both of these, and I don't know, there's nothing too important here. I'll just kind of go like that. So this one starts with 2 oak trees, and this one comes in with a rice paddy to earn me some more food, hopefully. Okay, now I go into the province phase, and I've got 2 samurai to work with, although as I'll show you in a second, you can get a lot more. But first, I want to check the weather. So the Year of the Cypress tells me that there is a 40% chance for each of those weather cards, 4 out of 10 of them, to be cypress trees, the cyan color one, a 30% chance for them to be the yellow beech trees, 20% chance of oak, and only 10% chance of pine. And why that matters and how the weather cards work is, whichever color is drawn for each card, I'm going to grow the trees of that color. If there are rice paddies or farms in that color, I'll get food from them. But if there's nothing in a space, it will flood. And if a flood's already there, it'll flood down and destroy the stuff underneath it. So basically this year, I'm going to be really scared of floods and empty spaces that are either the cypress color or the beech color. Now, this one's okay because if it floods, it'll just go down into here and not damage anything, but this space is very dangerous, so I probably want to do something with that. I also want to be careful cutting down cypress or beech this round, whereas if I'm cutting down pine, which is very unlikely to be drawn at all, I'm probably okay. Yeah, so I kind of want to deal with that and that. Those are my 2 most dangerous spots. But at the moment, I only have 2 workers to do anything with. But there are some special actions with rice that can help with that. You'll see here in the upper right, hire a villager. If I spend 2 rice, I can get a villager that I can use in the same round. Villagers can only do a single action, but they give you extra ways to deal with things when you're in trouble. But I have a different idea. My starting forestry card says pay 5 rice to upgrade one of your gold samurai to a green samurai. So this might be a little dangerous, but I'm going to spend all my rice to do that and gain an upgraded green samurai. You'll notice they're a full meeple, whereas this person is missing their legs. And their thing is they get to interact with all 3 of the locations they're placed next to. So like if I went here, I'll be able to do all 3 of those, as opposed to the regular samurai that can only do 2 things. But that does zero out my rice for the moment, which means I can't do anything else like hiring villagers, which is not great. So let's talk about the worker actions before we place our guys out. So first, there are 4 actions that any worker type can do. These are the only 4 that villagers can do. So first of all, you can plant a tree if it's an empty spot or a spot with a flood. You put a single tree of the matching color in its space, and it gets rid of the floods. So this is one of the 2 ways to stop floods from hurting you. The second option is to cut the trees. You take all of them and put them in your supply. They have to be in your supply to build structures or to send them to Edo for Shogun's demands. The third option is to grow an adjacent tree. You add 1 segment on top of whatever is already there. And the fourth option is to harvest. If you're next to a paddy, you get 1 rice. If you're next to a farm, you get 2. Okay, then some more limited actions. The next ones artisans and samurai can take, but the basic villagers cannot. You can turn a flood into a rice paddy by flipping it, so it'll earn you food for the rest of the game. Or you can build a structure if you have the correct tree colors and heights to do so. And then the last 2 actions only samurai can do. If the space you're interacting with is a fortress, you can muster to gain 2 more military tokens. Fortresses give you 1 military token for free every round before the weather phase starts. But if you want to complete some of those really high military Shogun's demands tiles, you might need more than that. And studying is how you advance your forestry track. And again, only samurai can do that. And just to show you the structures again, so each structure tells you exactly what type of trees it needs, and it needs to be a certain height, because when you cut a tree, you maintain its height. So like here, this is a 3 height cypress tree, and you can at any time during your turn as a free action, take your trees apart, but then you're going to limit what they can be used for. So like here, if I cut down this 3 cypress tree and split it into a 1 and a 2, I'd have the 1 cypress for the level 1 building, and the 2 cypress for the 3 building. And again, these will earn you victory points. Whenever you complete an entire row, you get a bonus. And here's one of the biggest bonuses you want to go for in the game. I mean, this is almost always what I try to do in the first 2 to 3 rounds. If you complete all 4 of the first buildings, you get an extra gold samurai immediately for the round you're currently in, plus all future rounds. You can also get really good column bonuses. Like if you complete all of these, you get to turn one of your gold samurai into a green samurai. So yeah, lots of good stuff to go for here. And then looking at the forestry track, I've got 3 options here. If I can place a samurai adjacent to a space that has a single height tree of any type, I can jump over to here. They'll show me some info about the weather and get me some research tokens, which can be used to look at weather cards, but also can get me this share forestry knowledge 8 victory point bonus for doing 4 of those tokens. And then eventually I'll get an artisan to help me do more, or I can just skip straight ahead up to here with any 2 height tree. That's what the white icon means. It would get me another forestry card, and then I could fast track up to these higher spots. And these bonuses get better and better the higher you go. Eventually you can upgrade your samurai or get permanent samurai, like that structure build bonus. Yeah, so there's just a lot of stuff you could do. A lot of stuff you could do in the game. All right, so let's see. I think I'm going to try going here with my 3-person. I'll flip this up into a rice paddy because that's one of the more likely types of trees to be drawn this turn for the weather. And then because I'm worried about cutting trees so high up so that floods could come down, I think I'm going to double forest research. Because if I do the 2 first, I can go here and get a new forestry card. See, this one lets me harvest up to 3 rice paddies and or farms in my province, or just get 2 rice. So either way, it's going to get me rice. But then I'm also next to a 3 oak tree, which will let me go here and get 2 of those research tokens. Again, with 4 of them, I can fulfill 1 of those tasks, but I can also discard them during my turn to look at one of the upcoming weather cards. Although with how I'm playing my turn here, I think I'll be okay with that. All right, and then this guy here, should I keep on researching or should I try to build? Because maybe I'll fast track up here to get my extra workers instead of building the structures first. Either of the 2 can help you be in a really good place for the game. Because yeah, if I go here, I want to put a tree down, plant 1 here. Because remember, cypress is the most common weather card for this round, so that's going to protect that from flooding. But then with the 3 pine, I could go here, which would get me one of these Shogun favor cards, which again, in solo just means I can discard one of those gold cards when I don't like it. In the competitive game, this would let me draw 2 of them and pick 1 for endgame scoring. Yeah, but then I can go there to get a bunch more research and complete that goal. Or I could just like try to rush up to upgrading one of my people. Now, alternatively, I could cut down the 3 pine tree, although I need 2 2-height pine trees to complete the pine requirements in this initial row. So I kind of want to wait until that tree grows a bit. So yeah, I'll do research again. Why not? I haven't gone heavy research in most of my games, so maybe it'll be okay. So now I've got 2 of these favor cards that discard solo goals I don't like. Oh, and sorry, I should have mentioned, the research does not cut down the trees, you're just studying them. So it's a lot more friendly for your ecological impact. So yeah, I only had to put down 2 workers. Sorry that I'm talking so much to explain things. This is actually a very quick game. Okay, now I go into the weather phase. If I had any fortresses, I would get free military tokens for each of them. But now I'm going to flip each of the cards up, and they will either show the exact type of tree, one of the 4. There's 4 of those cards, 1 for each type in here, or they'll show the letters. There are 3 letter A's, 2 letter B's, and 1 letter C. So that's how you get 10 cards. That's how you get the percentiles here. So this was, as expected, the most common result in this case, the year of the cypress. We're getting a cypress tree. So for each of my cypress trees, they grow by 1 level unless they're already at level 5, and then they stop. This one's at 4. For each cypress space that has a rice paddy or farm, I would gain rice, in this case, none. And then for each empty space or space with a flood, they get a flood. If they have 2 floods, it floods down into the next space. And its priority for where it floods is based on this same card. So it would first, in this case, want to flood into another cyan space, then into a yellow space, then into an orange space, then into a dark green. Again, here it says going into the river, so it doesn't matter. Okay, next is B, which was yellow. I'm growing 3. Oop, I got a flood here, and I get 1. Oh no, 2 rice. Nice. Oh, and this was unusual. I got another yellow, another beach. So my yellows are ultra tall now. Interesting. And I get 2 more rice, up to 4. That's nice. But, here we go. So this flooded, and cypress is the highest priority, so it completely destroys the trees here, which isn't too bad. But if it flowed into a rice paddy, or worst case, a structure you had built, then it would also get rid of that. So yeah, now I've got a lot more flooding I might want to do something about over there. Okay, now in the competitive game, we would in priority order have the chance to complete these demands tiles. In solo, that is something you can do at any time on your turn, so we don't have to worry about that. So all we do is take our workers back, and we're ready to go. The weather cards get shuffled back in, so the exact same cards could come out, or very different ones, but we go to the next one of these. So this time it's going to be the year of the pine, although, looks like beech is still the second most common. That's interesting. And we go to round 2. All right, so let's see what we've got this time. We've got grow 1 or 2 trees once. We've got an extra artisan to help you work. Or we've got flipping 2 floods into farms. Yeah, I think that's one we got to do. Let's go ahead and use our 2, which only lets us use the rightmost tile, but it'll also get us a free artisan. Artisans get to take 2 actions, just like regular samurai. They just can't do the study or muster actions. Besides that, they can do anything else. And you don't have to use all of your bonus workers each round. You can hold on to them, which I actually might want to do because I do have a 2 artisan solo goal as the active one. So if I can get 1 more artisan, I can get 4 points for basically free and then use these guys. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. Well, I have to because I used a 1 or a 2. So I'm going to flip 2 of my floods into rice paddies. And yeah, what's the most dangerous? Pine and then yellow beets. So let's flip both of those. I might still want to deal with that one because there's a 2 out of 10 chance of drawing that, and I don't want to lose my rice. But we'll see how things go. All right, we're going into the next round. This time I've got some rice I could spend to get extra workers, although I might want to save up for the 9 rice, 14 victory point tile there. I can get more rice with this one, but if I wait until I build a few rice farms, it'll be so much better. If I want to keep rushing this stuff, I would need a 3, then a 3, then a 4, and I could upgrade one of my gold workers, although that's probably not going to happen, but then I can get another one if I get another 4 there. That seems like what I might want to do, and then I can maybe focus on building the structures to get a 4th worker as well. Oh, I just realized that spot's super dangerous too, because pine is most common, so it could double flood. What if I take this initial samurai? Ooh. I don't know if this is like too much of one thing, but there are 2 3 trees here, which would let me do 2 of these, 1 for each of the 3. So let's do that. All right, so we're going to get to look at 2 weather cards, then get 2 forestry cards. Oh, and keep both of them? That's crazy. So let's look at two of the weather cards. And usually the other players would not see this, but here I'll just flip them up. Oh, so we're getting an oak first and then a pine. Okay, so even more important for me to deal with this one, right? Since that'll flood. And I'm also getting two forestry cards. First one says, pay 4 research tokens to draw 2 Shogun's favor cards. Keep one, discard the other. That's so much worse in solo because the Shogun's favor cards, again, just let you discard solo goals. So that'll certainly just be used for 2 rice. But this one is great. I get 2 builds, so I don't even need a worker to take the action. Build in my province, and I reduce the height requirements of both trees used by 1 segment. So like if I wanted to build this tree, I would need a 1 height pine and a 2 height beech instead of 2 and 3. And again, it wouldn't even cost an action and I could build anywhere. That's amazing. All right, and then, this is kind of an obvious one, I think. I'll go here. I guess I'll get another rice paddy. I could, again, also plant a tree there. And then I'll put down a tree there, and then I'll interact with this 4 to, boop, go ahead up here. So now at the end of the game, all my trees that are 4 or higher will be worth 1 victory point. All my trees that are 3 or higher will be worth 1 victory point, and that could be the same tree. So a 4 or 5 height tree will earn me 2 victory points. If I get to the top here, it'll be for every 2 height tree, I get a victory point as well. But I get to switch another one of my people into a green samurai. And then if I can do a 4 research next turn, I'll get another worker in round 3, which is not too bad. Usually I can get an extra worker by round 3, although I haven't built anything yet or really done much to complete any objectives. So that part's not great. Well, I guess I will be close to getting 4 more research. I can do the building forestry knowledge one. Although I've skipped most of the research spots, so that's kind of going to be all I'm going to be able to do in terms of research. That's not great if more of the tiles have that. Now, question. I do have 4 rice left. While I could save it to pay for that rice tax, I could also spend 2 a pop to get some villagers. Villagers can't build structures, but they could cut down some trees. But I guess there's no point in doing that. I can wait until next round. All right, so let's jump in. So the oak trees happen. We knew about that one. Our 4 oak trees get 1 higher. This empty oak spot gets a flood, and we get a rice from that farm. Sorry, not farm, paddy. Next is A, which is pine. We got 4 pine trees growing, including the one I just planted. 1 paddy for rice, getting us to 6 and no flooding. And the card we didn't see is another pine, which means we do have a level 5 one now, and we're up to 7 rice. We got 2 super workers now, and we're about to unlock a 3rd samurai. So, we're kind of in a good place, maybe. But the game is also down to 3 more rounds, so that's a little bit tough. All right, we've got 2 of these left to flip. Then I shuffle them and deal out the 3rd. 2 more bonus tiles. That one's useless to us because currently we only have green samurai, and that would get me 2 more workers for the round. But do I want to use my 6 to lock that one in when maybe something better will come along? Well, here, I can see what these are. Ooh, a 3 yellow and a 3 pine. That's pretty good. Oh, wait, what year is it? Now it's the year of the oak. Beech is the least likely to do anything bad, so I could cut that one pretty easily. Oh, and I can't forget that it seems at this point like I might get to the top of the research track, which would make each of these trees be worth 3 victory points. If it's kind of like 6 free victory points. Yeah. Okay, I want to keep the 1 since I probably want that to be my final card. So let's go ahead and use, do I want a worker or extra rice this round? Let's go for the rice. Maybe I can go ahead and do that pay the rice tax thing. Okay, so that'll get me 3 more rice. I'm up to 10. But even though I could pick that one, I'm going to pick this one. And I guess I'll just I could put them higher. And now if I cut these trees, they could potentially flood elsewhere. But it does create extra 3 spots I can place my workers. Because workers, I don't think I said this, cannot be placed on 2 space intersections. They always need to be between 3. All right, I still kind of want to keep my artisan. So I can get 4 free victory points later. I want to definitely do a 4 pine or beech research. There's a 4 pine. There's a 4 beech. It needs to be exact, by the way, so I couldn't use the 5 beech here. But big thing is I want to cut some more trees and get another worker if I can. And just to check in, ideally I would get 4 worth of beech, because then that would be 3 and 1, and a 4 height pine, that would be 2 and 2. A 3 height oak and a 3 height cypress would take care of me. Although I guess that gets a little bit less. I could just get 3 of each because I can use this building card. And yeah, I want to get maybe some farms to produce more food. I want to get some military stuff so I can at least complete that 1 victory point goal. Because I've already wasted a bunch of rounds that I would have gotten 3 military otherwise. All right, yellow is the least likely to be drawn this round. So what if I go here? I can cut the 5 beech. I can use the 4 pine to get myself another samurai. Beautiful. And then, should I make this a tree? Because if each tree is going to be worth potentially 3 victory points, that might be more important than food. And also, cypress isn't very likely to happen this round. So sure, let's put a cypress tree down here. All right, and then what if I send this samurai up here? That's a 4 oak, so I can complete that and get 4 more research tokens, which is more than enough to complete that 1 research goal. And then I could also complete that thing, but I want to actually build some stuff. So let's get that, because cypress is the second least likely to flood at the moment. And then, if I go here, I can cut down this 3 pine. I can... What do I want to do here? I already cut down cypress. What I need is oak. So I guess I'll just grow the height of this one. It's not too useful to do that, but sometimes you got to do something. But then I can build here. I think I'm going to build a military fortress, start getting tokens. And which tree do I want to make? Let's do 2 pine and 2 cypress. So technically I am using a free action to split them into separate smaller trees, and then I'm building that one. So I just remove the token. That shows that I've got 3 victory points, and then I pick an empty spot or a spot with a rice paddy if I want to build a farm to build the actual structure. And then, hey, let's get our military going a little bit faster. I'm going to go ahead and build in my province, reducing the height requirement of both trees by 1 segment, which will let me, if I split this off, use 2 of those and 1 of those, 1 less height for each, to also build the 4. And I could build up one of these paddies into a farm, but I think I want to get more free military. So let's go ahead and go there, because yes, pine has a 30% chance, and cypress only a 20% chance to be drawn right now. All right, I don't want to use this guy yet. I don't really need to complete anything yet. I can get 2 more rice from this, but I guess I might as well wait, because that's one I'm not going to use at all, whereas the harvesting up to 3 rice paddies or farms will get me at least 3 rice, but if I build a few farms, then I can get like 4 or 5, which will be a ton of free actions. So let's do that, I guess. By the way, just to show you the other special actions, so you can, as I said, for free at any time of your turn, split a tree into 2 segments. You can also, for 1 rice, combine trees back together. I'm not sure how that's supposed to make sense thematically. Do you glue them with rice glue? And then the big one, you can hire a villager for 2 rice. I'm eventually going to do that. And a few other ones, if you have extra military tokens, for 3 military, you can draw 2 of those bonus land tiles and pick 1 to place. And for 1 research, you can look at one of the weather cards that's coming. But yeah, I think we'll stop there for now, and then we'll try to be super busy in rounds 4 and 5. So weather 1 is pine. Actually, I guess we can just do all of them. Pine, then oak again. So the pines get bigger. That one was already max. And I get a single rice. And nothing happens for the fortresses. Oh, except, sorry, at the beginning of each weather phase, I get 2 tokens for free. And then remember, as an action only with samurai, when I go adjacent to a fortress, I can get 2 more tokens. So I could now, like, go here and get 4 tokens with a single worker placement to get a ton of military for goals. Okay, and then it was double oak, double orange. So these are almost all max height, which is good, because those are the only tree I haven't cut any of yet. And then that flood does nothing, and I get 2 rice, once each for that paddy. So that gets me up to 13 rice. All right, we're in another year of pine. Let's see what we got. Grow a tree. Oop, free artisan. I definitely want that one so that I can have a second one. So I might as well use my 4 then and also get a villager. So yeah, I'm going to have all the actions this round. I'll really be able to get some stuff going, especially since I should be able to build twice more this round and get another samurai. But yeah, look at all this. So what goal do I want to complete first? Well, I have a ton of rice, so let's do that first. I'm going to spend 9 of my 13 rice. I'm down to 4 to pay this rice tax. So again, I move the samurai over here. I get the 14 points, and then I reveal these. Oh, shoot. Lots of rice taxes. Might want to build some more farms. So now I can only complete these, or I can complete this, which I'll go ahead and do for free. I keep the card to show I get 4 victory points for it. That is because I had 2 artisans. I don't have to spend anything for these. And then I immediately reveal the next one, which is, okay, I definitely don't have 5 villagers, nor do I plan to. That would be a ton of rice that I probably want to save for the rice tax. But this, having 5 buildings of either type, I've got 2 fortresses already, so if I build 3 more times, I can do that one. So that's certainly something to go for. And I almost have 5 rice, and I already have that. I should get that pretty soon. This one, I need a 3 and a 4 height tree of any color. So I should be able to do some of this. All right, so I need an oak tree to build. I need a cypress tree to get my research almost done. So I could go there. That would fulfill both. Yeah. So it still needs to be a samurai to do the research. So let's go here. I'll go ahead and cut down the oak tree. And I'll research the cypress, which will let me see, oh, all 3 weather cards? Don't mind if I do. Okay, so we're getting cypress, pine, oak. Oh, that's kind of random. No doubles this round, which is kind of annoying because I was going to try to build a farm wherever it would get doubled up. So cypress would flood there, and I have no farms for cypress. Weird. Pine would get me a single farm. Oh man, look how many farms I have on yellow on beach. The only one that's not getting drawn. That's annoying. Yeah, so there's not really any danger of flooding, I guess, with none of them doubled up. Oh, wait, I forgot. Before I do anything else, let me go and discard this forestry card that's basically useless in solo to get 2 more rice. That'll get me to 6, and then I'll go down to 1 to pay the rice tax for 5, which is next to me. And then with the hay, I'll go ahead and use 4 research to share forestry knowledge. Trying to get a bunch of these done, which reveals... darn. Oh, wait, I can do... Oh, whoa! That was awesome. Okay, I'll share 2 more forestry knowledge. We're just knocking these out. By the way, I didn't fully explain how the final scoring works. What happens is each of these that is unfulfilled is worth 20 points, and each one that is fulfilled is worth 10 points. And that's the minimum score you have to achieve. Also adding in, as I said, double your final worker. So if I achieve, for example, all 8 of these, which is pretty unlikely, then my target score would be 80 plus, let's say I kept the 1, 82. So I should be able to bolster military very easily. If I use one of my favor cards to ditch that, I should be able to do that pretty soon. We'll see if I can get enough rice. I guess if I just start building, because I'm already going to get enough military for free for that. So if I just start building tons of rice farms, then I might be okay. And yeah, in fact, let's go for that now, because I've got the stuff to go for. We can have the artisans build the rice farms. They can do that well. So I want to build rice farms that are not on beach, because they're going to actually pay out this round. Oh, did I forget to do this? I think I did. When you build in these rows, these spaces, like the fortress I built here, you have to pay 1 rice, 2 rice, 3 rice. I don't think I did that. If I did and messed up, then I just cost myself a rice for no reason. But I'm pretty sure I forgot. All right, I do have the build an Ado goal, so I want some extra trees, although getting extra trees is going to cost me... Okay, what if I go here? What if I actually use a samurai? Go here. I can do the final research with this 5 trees, so now all my trees that are 2 or higher will be worth 1 victory point each. That should be good. Then... Oh, shoot, it would cost 2 rice to build here. Never mind. Oh, yeah, everything costs rice to build on. Okay, then here. How about something slightly different? I'll put this guy here and have them put a tree here. Although, wait, that's right. Getting a bunch more rice will be good. Never mind, I will put a rice paddy there. And then I'll have them build a farm here using 1 cypress and 1 oak for this one. So I'm about to get another worker. Let's make that happen. Oh, and then let's get a new rice paddy going with this person. So that's 1 yellow and 2 orange. Definitely need to cut some more trees, but that'll get me that. And I get another samurai from finishing that row. And for the other action, I guess I'll just build up this tree. Not much else I can do. Okay, now I do have this. Harvest up to 3 rice paddies and/or farms in my province, which will give me 5 rice. Let's go ahead and use that, because 2, 4, and then whatever. Okay, and then I want to... What was the other one was going to get drawn? Oak or beech, except there isn't anything there yet. But I can cut this big pine down to build more stuff. That seems good. Oh, wait, I don't have enough to build anything yet, do I? For this one, I need a bit more oak and some pine. All right, let's send the... Ooh, I know. Let's send this new samurai to cut down both of these giant trees. Yes, I'm costing myself victory points, but I can get more building. Oh, no, that does mean both of these are going to flood in a second, but they won't double flood, and then I could turn them into farms or something. All right, and then, yeah, I can do a 3 oak and a 2 pine. Where do I want to build it, though? I guess more free rice would be good, because that'll get me free workers. Actually, here, first, let's have this samurai go here. I'll cut down both of these trees. I'm just clear cutting my land and costing myself tons of victory points. For the third one, should I build another farm here? Oh, that's not going to actually pay out anything this round. But sure, why not? Let's go ahead and use those. Does cost me 2 rice, though. Now that's a farm. Okay, I've still got several people, and I could spend rice to get more. Oh, and I think I can build that up, can I? Yeah, I've got a big enough oak and a big enough... Yep, okay. Now, villagers can't build, though. And where do I want to build? Oh, I could get that one to also give me extra food this round, so sure. Ooh, let's go here. I didn't actually do the final research yet, so that 5 will do that. And I'll spend another rice and a 5 oak, yep, and a 3 yellow to complete that. Get another farm here. Did I pay the 1 rice? I think I did, and then I'm getting 1 rice back from that. And because I did that entire column, I get to upgrade yellow. Although they already went, but it means I'll be even more prolifically doing stuff in the final round. Okay, and let's actually get a second villager. I'm about to get a ton of rice for free, and I want to try to get some more trees growing for bonus points. All right, so we're doing cypress and oak, but not beech. So sure, let's have a guy go here and here. You plant a tree in each of these, and then they'll grow in a second to be worth 3 victory points each to me, because they'll be at that minimum 2 height. All right, that was a big round. So going to weather, I go up to 4 military, so I'm 1 away from being able to bolster military, which is great. And then we're doing again cypress, pine, oak. Okay, cypress doesn't flood at all in a bad way, but I also have 0 farms, great. Pine floods here, but also gets me 2 food. Then oak floods twice, yikes, but also gets me 4 more rice, which gets me to 6, 1 away from paying that rice tax. I definitely want to do that. And sorry, I guess I should have said this. All of these workers are temporary workers, so they go away after they're used. But your samurai stick with you. And man, I got some strong samurai going. And that takes us to the final round, which is the year of the beach. It's going to give me a lot of rice. In fact, yeah, I have 4 worth of rice production, but I've also got some potential dangerous flooding, especially with that 1 oak flood, so I'll figure that out. And the final bonuses, growing trees, getting a forestry card, flipping floods. I think that's the one I want to go for, and I do have enough rice. That'll take me down to 4 rice, but now I just have my 1 left, which again is going to mean I have a lower score to aim for. And yeah, let's take flipping 2 rice paddies, I think. Specifically, yeah, oak is very likely to do stuff, and those are the only 2 things that were already flooded that could hurt me and like maybe destroy a building or something. All right, so there's the final round. We'll go to 5 military automatically, and you can complete the goals at any time, so we could even do that during the weather phase when we get that. We need to cut down some more trees to build an Edo. We need a 4 and a 3. I have a 3. I don't have 4. I should get enough rice tax probably to pay for that. I still don't know what that is. And I want to use a favor. Actually, let's do this now. I'll use a favor card to discard this one and bring this out. Oh, 2 green samurai I have automatically. So let's go ahead and complete that for 4 victory points. And now I can't complete that one until I move off of it. So I don't have enough rice for the rice tax yet. I need to cut down a 4 tree for that. I don't have that until the end of the round. Well, this should be okay. So I want to build some trees because they're worth 3 victory points each to me if they get to a minimum of 2. I don't want to cut down a ton of stuff. Although, I mean, building like high-level buildings would get me 10 victory points or 8 victory points. Although I'll have to probably cut down 2 trees to do it, which will be costing me 6 victory points. Maybe I don't want to build too much. Maybe I mostly want to plant. But I do want to be able to build an Edo because that's 10 points and 10 less from the requirement. So I definitely want to do that one. So I need to cut down a 4 somewhere. And ideally it would be a beech tree, a yellow, because they're most likely to grow back this round. Okay, here, let's do some goofy stuff. I'll go here, I'll cut down this beech tree, and I'll harvest from both of those for 4 more rice, getting me to 8. And then let's spend 2 of that rice to combine this 1 with the 4. So now I have a 4 and a 3 to build an Edo. Sorry, that was only 1 rice, not 2. Oh, good, so this means I can spend 7 rice to pay this rice tax. Then I can do the 3 and the 4 to build an Edo. Let's see what our last friend is. Ooh, I need a 4 and a 5 to get 13 points. All right, maybe I am going to cut down more stuff, huh? Well, first let's go over here since we obviously already have 2 green samurai. We'll get that one. And we have 5 rice farms. Oh, it's 5 rice paddies. Do farms not count? Nope, I just checked, and farms with the paddy do count. By the way, do I have 9 plus 3 height trees? I think there's no way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, actually, I'm very close. If I build up one of those, I can get that. But I don't know if I have enough time to go back and forth. So let's use my other favor card to discard the 9 plus one. And that means the 5 rice paddy one that I absolutely have will be worth it. So I can move off to do the build bolster military or build an Edo and then come back. All right, so what I want to do, I want to cut down, I want to get to a 4 and a 5. So I could cut like both of these down and then rebuild them theoretically. Sure, so let's go here. I'll cut both of those. Oh, wait, no, I won't. Those are the ones least likely to get weather. Let's cut these instead, and I'll get a rice from going there. Then I'll go ahead and build an Edo with these. Man, I'm crushing things this time. Getting a lot of workers certainly helps. Then I can go back to this because I certainly have 5 plus of those. 0 flooding, I definitely don't have, and I'm not going to have. And this one is I need to have 3 plus height trees in a row, which I also don't have. Okay, so that's going to be it for that. I'll just finish that when I get my free military. So at this point, I'm just trying to get as many victory points as I can, and I think, honestly, building up trees is going to help more than cutting them down, maybe? So let's send a samurai here to plant here and here. Okay, and then beech is my most dangerous. So let's, I don't know, go maybe here to get 4 more rice. And I guess 2 military, even though I don't need it. And then I can spend 2 rice a pop to get villagers. And let's build a beech tree here and a beech tree here. Or not build, plant. And then theoretically, with the weather being beech focused, both of those will grow up and get me 3 victory points each. And hey, while I'm at it, I might as well spend these 5 military to do the... Wait, hold on. What is the cost? That's what I thought. To expand my province, I need to spend 3 military, and I need to do that during my turn, whereas I can do this at any time, even after I get my 2 income. So let's expand my province with 3 military, and then I'll have the 5 to spend. And I just want trees. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, so this one's fine. It's 3 more free victory points. Might as well do it. Okay, so then we get 2 military, and yes, before we see what the weather cards are, we'll finish the final goals. We did them all. All right, first weather, Cyprus. I'm not going to worry about building the trees up if they're already 2+, because that'll already get my... Oh, no, never mind. They're worth more the higher they are. I forgot. What am I doing? They're worth extra if they're 3 and even more if they're 4. Yeah, why did I think that planting a single tree was going to get me that many victory points? That was stupid. That flood does nothing, and I still have no farms or paddies on Cyprus. Not that rice helps at all now. Okay, that's beech, yellow. Okay, so we do get those to the minimum of victory points, and then I get 2, 3, 4 food. Last one, beech again, which gets me a lot more rice. It doesn't matter. Okay, so going into final scoring, my target is 82, double that value. Clearly, I'm going to be fine. So my structure's built. Give me their value. 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 24. My tree score. Remember, it's 1 for a 2 tree, 2 for a 3 tree, 3 for a 4 or 5 tree. So 1, 3, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, nothing. 23, 26, nothing. Wow, more than my structures. I haven't achieved that very often. And then the demands. This is going to be a little absurd. I feel like I cheated. So 5, 14, 27, 37, 48, 62, 78. I don't think I double counted any of those. And then Shogun's favor cards don't count in solo. Oh, but I do get, oh my gosh, 20 from those? Okay, yeah, I think I beat the minimum score by quite a bit. 98, 124, 148 versus 82. What? I feel like, did I play an extra round or something? I don't know what happened. I've never beaten it by this much. Now, there are ways to make the game harder. First of all, you can play on the B side, where the demands don't connect to each other as easily. You'll see kind of like these horizontal lines. So I could go from rice tax to build a NATO, but then I have to go back to the center. I could go from build a NATO to Bolson military, but then back to the center. So like only certain ones connect. And then additionally, you can play where you have extra demands at the top and bottom. So those are going to require potentially like 40 more points or more from you. Although, yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe I did something wrong here because I just beat it by so much. But putting that aside, what do I think of the game? I think it's very quick. I like how fast the turns are. I love that everything is simultaneous. In multiplayer, the game's really been a breeze. I think the interplay between cutting tons of trees to build stuff, but then opening yourself up to flooding in your land is a really awesome tying in of theme and mechanic. Because it shows that you have to conserve your land to an extent and not just cut down every tree you see, but it also opens a ton of interesting decisions in gameplay. Now, this isn't a game with a ton of player interaction, because again, most of it is simultaneous, but you are trying to outbid each other for these cards. That's pretty interesting. And you're trying to kind of Arc Nova style be the first one into these victory point tiles. Pay attention to who else is getting close to them. Make sure you have priority in the turn you finish it so you can get the more valuable one or knock somebody out depending on player count. So it's not an intensely competitive game, but there are ways to jump ahead and grab victory points from each other. Now, potential concerns, again, unless I'm cheating, I'm not sure about the solo balance, because a lot of it is luck-based. In the competitive game, yes, you don't know exactly which weather cards are going to come out unless you use research or bonuses to see, but you all get the same results. So if all of you build farms in yellow because it's the year of the beech, and then not a single A card gets drawn and none of you benefit from it, that's going to tend to hit the players equally. But in solo, if you get the exact wrong cards and don't get any rice, or get a lot of flooding where you didn't want it, or get the exact right card, that only impacts you. So there is more luck in solo, definitely. Same thing with these cards that come out. Sometimes they'll be perfectly aligned to what you've already been doing, and you'll get 4 free victory points and more flexibility in where you go for the tiles. Sometimes it'll be the exact opposite. Sometimes the tiles that get revealed will be things that you already have built up, like you'll get another military tile and you already have a lot of fortresses. Sometimes they'll be totally contrary to what you've done. So yeah, be aware that solo is much more luck-based than the multiplayer game, for better or worse. Also, my only other complaint with the game, because I really do like the core gameplay and the worker placement and all of that, is that I do feel like what I did in this game, rushing the research track somewhat to level up and gain new workers. and or rushing specifically this bottom row to get an extra worker is such a kind of, for me, automatic play after playing through the game a few times. Sometimes I'll do one, sometimes I'll do the other, but you gotta do one of them or you're leaving potentially a third of your actions on the table in the game overall. So I do worry a bit, at least based on this prototype, maybe there's things that are different in the final game, but I do worry a bit that there will be potentially certain strategies that you kind of feel like you have to always do. Not a huge complaint, but just something to be aware of. But yeah, that is Ringyō. Definitely another nice one from the creators of Distilled and Luthier. Is it as good as those? I don't know. Luthier is definitely a much heavier game. Distilled has a bigger luck element. This one is faster than either one with the simultaneous play, so I think they could all fit in a collection. But the team, I think, is doing a great job, so go check out the crowdfunding page and see what you think. And thanks for watching, everybody. Special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, Dan, J. William F., Steve Wren, KCW, Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.